Originally, the respected masters and senior sisters wept and pleaded for me to return to the sect. To this, my response was but a single sentence. Your beloved junior brother had perished 500 years ago. It was your choice. The one who stepped out at this moment was none other than Guzu, who had just ventured into the depths of the bamboo forest. Earlier, we suddenly discovered that we were trapped by a formation. In the midst of panic, everyone was too busy with their own concerns, completely forgetting about Guzu, who had gone ahead to scout. Actually, to say they forgot is not entirely accurate. One should say that many people already knew what the ultimate outcome would be. The wind does not return. Death is inevitable. After all, although he had reached the 4th level of terrifying, and entering the Tao once was indeed rare, he was ultimately just a cultivator at the 7th level of terrifying. With such cultivation, being trapped in this formation, even the golden core cultivators find themselves helpless. The only outcome is certain death. Yet now, this very person who everyone believed to be doomed to die was emerging unscathed from the ruins of the bamboo forest. The most astonished were Surume and Yingzi, who had already discerned the profoundness and peril of the formation. The formation was suddenly broken just now. Could it be his doing? This person is proficient in formations. This was the Azure Bamboo Dragon Entrapment Formation. The resources and time required were considerable. The formation in operation, even the Golden Core cultivators would find it inescapable. Could he break it? If this formation was indeed broken by this person, then it is imperative to establish a connection with him. He could become an esteemed guest of our Wenbao building. The two quickly reached a conclusion. Their gazes at Guzu were filled with astonishment. The art of formations. Many cultivators know a little, but most can only manage ordinary, common formations. In fact, if they have the formation manuals and follow the instructions to the letter, they could set up some grand formations. But such people are not true formation masters. A true formation master can understand formations and even use their understanding of the art of formations to find the weak points of a formation and break it. Such individuals are very rare, and this Azure Bamboo Dragon Entrapment Formation is formidable beyond measure. It can even trap Golden Core cultivators. If an ordinary formation master were trapped inside, they would be equally helpless. If this formation was truly broken by Feng Bugui, then his attainments in the art of formations are undoubtedly formidable. This also means that Feng Bugui's value will increase immensely. Surume immediately approached Guzu. Fellow Taoist Feng, are you alright? Seeing Guzu shake his head to indicate he was fine, Surume couldn't wait to ask, what did you do just now? Fellow Taoist Feng? Not much. Just cut down a few bamboo stalks, killed a few people. Guzu replied calmly. Surume was instantly shaken to the core. Cut down a few bamboo stalks? Could it be that he destroyed the formation's core of the Azure Bamboo Dragon Entrapment Formation? And as for killing a few people, did he slay the ones who set up the formation? Just as Surume was about to ask more questions, she heard Guzu say, the road ahead is clear. We can continue our journey. This way, we can reach Yangshao City as soon as possible. Oh! Surume snapped back to her senses and immediately ordered the convoy to move forward. After all, someone had set up a grand formation to target them. Staying here any longer was risky. Once she had arranged everything and turned back, she saw Guzu already holding that wooden stick, walking into his own carriage. Surume hesitated for a moment, but ultimately didn't stop Guzu, because she noticed that those scattered cultivators who had previously mocked Guzu were still discussing. What are you saying? You think that kid broke the Azure Bamboo Dragon Entrapment Formation? Are you kidding? Does a kid at the 7th level of terrifying have that kind of strength? The Azure Bamboo Dragon Entrapment Formation, no matter how weak, is still a legitimate grand formation. Even an experienced formation master would need time to break it, right? And would need cultivation to support it, right? Do you really think just cutting a few bamboo stalks can break the formation? Nonsense! The one speaking was a robust cultivator, with a knife scar on his face. Surume knew this person. His name was Mo Xingsheng, nicknamed the Wild Victory Blade. Once, with a cultivation at the 9th level of chair-fining, he fought against a cultivator at the peak of chair-fining, and he killed his opponent. Since then, he became famous after that one battle. He is highly respected among the scattered cultivators. This Mo Xingsheng was indeed good at managing. Using his reputation, he gathered a group of scattered cultivators and formed a small gang called the Wild Victory Gang. They mainly took on jobs needing external assistance from merchant guilds and sects. At first, the scale was small, but over time, it grew larger. They had people in many nearby cities. Later, many sects and forces needing external help would directly seek them out for convenience. This made the Wild Victory Gang grow stronger, to the point now where many scattered cultivators had to join the Wild Victory Gang to find work. And the Wild Victory Gang didn't just suppress powerless scattered cultivators. They even began to put pressure on some sects and forces. Just like this time, Wanbao Building requested people from the Wild Victory Gang. Mo Xingsheng not only raised the price on the spot, but also demanded several carriages for them to boost their prestige. In his words, he hinted that if they didn't give face to the Wild Victory Gang, then in the future, Wanbao Building would find it hard to get any scattered cultivators at the chair-fining stage to help. Not a single person. This made Surume quite displeased. However, after weighing the options, she agreed to the payment. But she did not agree to the carriages. As a form of subtle reprimand, Yingzi said, "It seems that Crossing Sheng is targeting because you gave Feng Bugui a separate carriage." Surume shook her head. "I'm afraid it's more than that. I've heard that the Wild Victory Gang has not been very stable lately. This Mo Xingsheng probably wants to use the suppression of the outsider Feng Bugui to also intimidate his own gang members." Yingzi asked, "Do you think what he said is true or false? That Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation, was it really not broken by Feng Bugui?" Well, Surume frowned. Her heart also filled with doubt. After all, Gushu's strength was indeed too weak. Although the 7th level of chair-fining is considered the late stage of chair-fining, it is still not enough to face such a grand formation. To say he broke the Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation is indeed somewhat incredible. Let's move forward. Maybe we can find out something. Didn't Feng Bugui cut down a few bamboo stalks and kill a few people? Let's see what kind of bamboo he cut and who he killed to find out. Yingzi also nodded. The two of them immediately became cautious. After walking for a while, just as Guzu had said before, the road ahead was clear. They did not encounter any danger along the way. Wait, what is this? Why are these bamboo stalks cut and left here? These were chopped down by someone in front of the convoy. There were several broken bamboo stalks. Each one was as thick as an ordinary person's thigh and faintly engraved with formation patterns. There were mysterious spiritual energy fluctuations on them, and these bamboo stalks, without exception, were all chopped down. These are the bamboo stalks that Feng Bugui mentioned. Cutting down! Ha ha ha! Just chopping down a few broken bamboo stalks. Is this worth mentioning? What did I say before? The Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation could not have been broken by him. With his cultivation level, he could only chop down a few broken bamboo stalks. Seeing the broken bamboo, Mo Xingsheng sneered at the time. The group of cultivators following him also laughed along. Did any of you notice? At this moment, someone suddenly asked, "Why did the myriad bamboo forest turn into ashes?" Yet these few broken stalks did not disappear. Everyone was stunned for a moment. Immediately after, they saw a few people who had already gone to the broken bamboo, carefully observing for a while, suddenly exclaiming in surprise, "These broken bamboo stalks are all engraved with formation patterns and Tao rhythms. Yes, there is also mysterious power on them. These were part of the Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation. These bamboo stalks were the formation cores. These are the formation cores. These are the formation cores. The Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation was not set up incorrectly by the formation master. Someone broke the formation cores and destroyed the formation. With these exclamations, many people also noticed the formation patterns and Tao rhythms on the bamboo. Even because they had just been destroyed, there was still a trace of mysterious power that hadn't dissipated. Someone gasped, instinctively looking towards Gushu's carriage. What he said about cutting down a few bamboo stalks couldn't have been referring to these formation core bamboo stalks, could it? Aren't they just a few broken bamboo stalks? Maybe it was just luck. And these few bamboo stalks happened to be right in front of him. If it were me, I would have also cut down the bamboo stalks in front of me. Mo Xingsheng scoffed, his face full of disdain. His words made everyone pause. It seems to make sense. Could it really just be luck? But how could it be such a coincidence? This Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation is extremely intricate. The formation cores are constantly moving. How could an ordinary person just coincidentally hit the right ones? Moreover, the main formation master must have been controlling the formation. Would he really let the formation cores be placed right in front of Guzu for him to cut? That would be foolish. For a moment, everyone was speechless. Even the members of the Wild Victory gang following Mo Xingsheng were a bit silent. A few broken bamboo stalks scared you? Do you really believe that this cultivator at the 7th level of chair refining, who was only at the 4th level before, understands such powerful formations? Mo Xingsheng spoke again, this time making everyone nod, though it seemed a bit far-fetched. This explanation did make sense. Even Surume couldn't help but feel puzzled. Could it really be a coincidence? These broken bamboo stalks were frustrating to look at. At that moment, Mo Sheng, who had convinced everyone, struck with his palm towards the bamboo. However, Mo Xingsheng was astonished. He had casually struck with his palm, and if these were ordinary bamboo stalks, they should have shattered into powder by now. But after his strike, the broken bamboo didn't move at all. What is this? Mo Xingsheng coughed, then used 50% of his strength. This time, the bamboo made a strange sound. Mo Xingsheng felt that his strike was like hitting cotton, absorbed and neutralized. As for the bamboo, it wasn't damaged at all, not even leaving a mark. Mo Xingsheng was dumbfounded. Everyone else was also dumbfounded. They even started doubting Mo Xingsheng, wondering if the bamboo had some hidden ability. I underestimated it, Mo Xingsheng said awkwardly. Then, without changing his expression, he struck again with his palm. Though his face remained calm, he secretly used all his strength. A full power strike from a cultivator at the 9th level of chair refining might not destroy the heavens and earth, but it could certainly turn stones into powder. Yet, the bamboo still made that strange sound, and Mo Xingsheng felt most of his strength dissipate. Fortunately, the remaining force was all directed at the bamboo. Crack! Accompanied by a crisp sound from the bamboo, the struck spot immediately caved in and cracked, but it only cracked. His full force strike didn't completely break the bamboo. At that moment, Mo Xingsheng was stunned. He looked at his palm, then at the bamboo, for a moment doubting whether he had grown weak with age, or if the bamboo was extraordinarily tough. But if the bamboo was that tough, how did Feng Bugui manage it? Looking at the previously cut bamboo, the cuts were smooth, as if they were made with a single sword stroke, seeming to even have some strength left. Is Feng Bugui that powerful? Mo Xingsheng took out his treasured blade, infused it with all his strength, and struck the bamboo. This time, the bamboo finally broke with a sound, but the smile on Mo Xingsheng's face was very forced. because he realized that even with his full strength strike, he almost couldn't cut it as cleanly as before. Did that white-haired cultivator at the 7th level of terrifying really do this? Is Feng Bugui that strong? Witnessing all this, Yingzi couldn't help but exclaim in Surume's ear, "These bamboo stalks are already broken, and the formation has collapsed. If the formation were intact, the strength of these bamboos would be far beyond what Mo Xingsheng could cut. It would at least require the strength of the foundation establishment stage." Surume also frowned, instinctively glancing at Gushu's carriage, her eyes filled with astonishment. She not only realized this, but also thought of another point. Earlier, people had said that Feng Bugui had casually cut the bamboo, luckily breaking the formation core. But what cultivator at the 7th level of terrifying would casually cut a bamboo stalk with such force? He truly is a formation master, and one who can fight above his level. Using the power of the foundation establishment stage, move forward without hesitation, Surume immediately ordered. Her eyes were filled with excitement and joy. She wanted to see who the people Feng Bugui claimed to have killed were, impatient to see what other surprises Feng Bugui would bring her. She had a feeling that she had found a treasure. Quickly, the convoy moved forward again. This time they didn't travel far before a few corpses appeared on the road ahead. "I know this person. This is Qiu Liandong, a cultivator at the 9th level of terrifying. And this is Fu Haiji, 7th level of terrifying. Wu Huanren, 7th level of terrifying. And here there's an 8th level, Cao Wenyu." A series of exclamations followed one after another. Recognizing these identities, everyone felt a chill rising in their hearts. Because the people lying dead on the ground now, in life, each had a notorious reputation. But now, without exception, all of them were dead bodies devoid of life. The most terrifying part was the injuries on these people. All exactly the same. Their heart veins were pierced through. Killed in one strike. 10 steps, 1 kill. This is the 10 steps, 1 kill technique. What kind of terrifying existence could achieve this level? These people were not minor characters. If these people had charged into the formation earlier, we all would have been dead. There would have been no way to stop them. Were they killed by that Feng Bugui? Is his strength really this terrifying? The further they went, the more frequently people glanced at Gushu's carriage. Even the scattered cultivators of the Wild Victory gang couldn't help but tremble, their legs cramping up. It wasn't just them. Even the foundation establishment cultivators of Wanbao Building and Surume, who was at the Golden Core stage, were all watching with fear and awe. These were all well-known figures, and they had prepared the Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation in advance. Such a formidable force came prepared, joining forces to target us. If they had succeeded, we would have suffered heavy losses today. Surume nodded solemnly. Golden Core cultivators are indeed powerful. Even if terrifying cultivators used sheer numbers, they wouldn't be able to defeat a Golden Core. But with a grand formation and some prior preparation, just hadn't had the chance to use their means yet. It's hard to say. This is Bilyu Huanquan Tiu Bikyang. Gasp, is it really her? Tiu Bikyang is dead too? Didn't she advance to the foundation establishment stage half a year ago? How did she also die here? At that moment, the people at the front of the convoy made another new discovery. It was a female corpse. The woman had an exceptionally beautiful appearance, her attire so captivating that it was hard not to be mesmerized. But now, she had become a skeleton in fine powder. The few foundation establishment cultivators present couldn't stay calm anymore. Though they were foundation establishment cultivators, if they faced this woman skilled in sinister arts, they wouldn't dare say they were certain to win. More importantly, it was absolutely impossible to kill her so easily. Because at this moment, because of Tiu Bikyang's death, was exactly the same as the others. One strike through the heart. She seemed not to have reacted even in death, her face still showing an expression of disbelief, as if still in shock at how powerful her killer was. Could this really be the work of Senior Feng? Someone murmured, their eyes full of horror. The others were also similarly filled with disbelief, filled with incredulity. Don't be deceived by that kid's current cultivation level. He is at the 7th level of terrifying now, that's true. But he was only at the 4th level of terrifying before. In such a short time, it would be good enough if he could stabilize his realm. How could he completely master his strength? How could he possibly defeat a foundation establishment cultivator so quickly? Mo Xingsheng said, making the others also ponder deeply. Indeed, all of this seemed surreal, hard to believe. Even Surume and Yingzi nearby couldn't help but furrow their brows, exchanging a glance. Then tell me, if these people were not killed by Feng Bugui, then who killed them? Someone asked. Others also looked on curiously. Yeah, this group clearly came for Wenbao Building, and the only one who left from Wenbao Building was Feng Bugui. If it wasn't him, then who else could it be? This question hit the key point, leaving Mo Xingsheng at a loss, not knowing how to answer. Let's move on, Surume said, ordering the convoy to continue forward. She too was uncertain, wanting to observe more. The road ahead was still not peaceful. As corpses continued to appear intermittently, most were terrifying stage cultivators. But 2 more foundation establishment cultivators' bodies also appeared. The further they went, the more uneasy they felt. Surume's frown deepened. The ambushers this time were very well prepared. Such a large force. She wasn't even sure if she could have survived if she had been caught in the formation. Ji Xiaoming. This is Ji Xiaoming, a renowned genius rogue cultivator from Yangshao City. This is that genius rogue cultivator. After traveling a bit further, another exclamation was heard. Everyone went forward to check. There they found the body of a young man in a green robe. This person was yet another significant figure. Although Ji Xiaoming was only at the early stage of foundation establishment, his methods were unpredictable. He could even fight against mid-stage foundation establishment cultivators. He was hailed as a genius in Yangshao City. How could he die so easily? Can such a genius also die? Could it really have been Feng Bugui? A group of people started arguing. Some believed that this person was killed by Guzu. Others argued that Gushu's strength couldn't achieve this. Both sides stood their ground, trying to convince each other. However, this argument didn't last long, because soon, not far from Ji Xiaoming's body, they discovered another corpse. It was a completely white bear. Its body was dead, its inner core removed. But everyone immediately recognized the strength of this white bear when it was alive. A 3rd-tier spirit beast. In comparison, it was strong enough to match a mid-stage foundation establishment cultivator. The discovery of this corpse gradually calmed the arguing parties. Those who believed it was Guzu started to fall silent, one by one closing their mouths. Because Ji Xiaoming, a genius, plus a 3rd-tier spirit beast, evidently worked together, judging by the scene. Such strength would spell certain death for an ordinary mid-stage foundation establishment cultivator, and even late-stage foundation establishment cultivators would be suppressed. No matter how strong Feng Bugui is, he couldn't be this strong. 7th level of terrifying is still just the 7th level of terrifying. No matter how strong, there are limits. Feng Bugui couldn't possibly have done this. It seemed the person who acted couldn't have been Feng Bugui. This was the most reasonable conclusion. After all, although the world never lacks geniuses, even the most powerful geniuses have limits. Facing this situation at the 7th level of terrifying, surviving would already be a blessing. To turn the tables and kill them would be pure fantasy. Even Tsurume and Yingzi were somewhat shaken. They wanted to continue hoping for Feng Bugui. But hoping didn't mean believing in the impossible. This scenario was too far-fetched. As the two were having these thoughts, a cultivator walking behind, suddenly with a shocked expression, took out a bead. This is the inner core of that spirit beast, 596. The inner core with its spiritual power completely absorbed. Everyone turned to look, only to see a rogue cultivator holding a completely transparent round bead. It was the spirit beast's inner core with its spiritual power absorbed. Of little use, of little value, ordinary cultivators wouldn't want it. But at this moment, it attracted everyone's attention. The spirit beast inner core still carried the same aura as the white bear's corpse lying on the ground. The little cultivator holding it was extremely nervous under everyone's gaze. Cold sweat breaking out. Stammering, he said, This was given by Senior Feng. I had never seen such a thing. So I picked it up. How is this possible? Why is it impossible? If it wasn't Feng Bugui, where did this inner core come from? But how could he have such strength? No matter how he did it, the fact remains it was his doing. Undeniably, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. Even the Wild Victory Gang's leader, Mo Xingsheng, looked utterly incredulous. He found it hard to argue, impossible to argue. The facts were right in front of them. All of this really was Feng Bugui's doing. The formation cores, he broke them. The people, he killed them. He, with a single stick, silently helped the entire convoy avert a catastrophic crisis. And yet, they had doubted whether it was Feng Bugui's doing. It was simply unforgivable. Thank you, Taoist Feng, for your assistance in helping Wenbao Building resolve this crisis. Tsurume expressed her gratitude to the Taoist. Everyone was still stunned. But they saw Tsurume already at Gushu's carriage, politely bowing. She was a golden core cultivator and should not have done this. But at this moment, she lowered her stance significantly. At this time, no one objected. Others also reacted and stepped forward. Senior Feng, earlier I was blind and doubted you. I spoke arrogantly before. I hope Senior Feng will forgive me. I was disrespectful earlier. I hope Senior Feng will not hold it against me. At that moment, it became lively in front of Gushu's carriage. Almost everyone who had doubted or mocked Guzu before now stepped forward to apologize. Even Mo Xingsheng, who had been picking faults, stood in front of Gushu's carriage, drenched in cold sweat, bowing deeply. Anyone who becomes a cultivator is not a fool. Perhaps Gushu's entry into the Tao was nothing special. Perhaps his cultivation level was not particularly high. But breaking the Azure Bamboo Dragon entrapment formation and killing so many powerful enemies beyond his level, each of these feats, anyone achieved by Guzu, meant this person was not to be provoked or offended. Although they didn't know how Feng Bugui managed all of this. At this moment, these details were unimportant. Even if he had used some special means, it only indicated that this person was extraordinary. It further showed that if this person wanted to take their lives, it would be as easy as eating or drinking. The members of the Wild Victory Gang were trembling, terrified. The Wild Victory Gang was made up of rogue cultivators in the chair refining stage. Their growth relied not only on gathering chair refining cultivators, but also on knowing whom they could provoke and whom they could not. At this moment, Mo Xingsheng's regret was palpable. He had only intended to establish his authority, to kill a chicken to scare the monkeys, but he had kicked an iron plate instead. Now, he was deeply afraid, fearing that Feng Bugui would hold a grudge, seeing everyone apologizing. While the carriage remained still, Mo Xingsheng gritted his teeth, took out a pile of spirit stones from his storage ring. He hoped to resolve the matter by offering wealth, but before he could step forward, He saw someone move faster. Taoist Feng, earlier I was possessed and attempted to strike at you. Fortunately, Manager Su arrived in time and made me see the error of my ways. These are my savings from these years. I hope Taoist Feng can forgive me and give me a chance to make amends. It was a foundation establishment cultivator from Wenbao building, named Ren Qing. He had previously harbored ill intentions towards Gushu's storage bag, but Surumei had discovered him in time to cut off one of his fingers. If Mo Xingshang had only been verbally disrespectful, Ren Qing had actually tried to kill and rob. Initially, he was still resentful, feeling that Surumei had been too harsh. But now, there wasn't a trace of resentment left. His face had turned pale with fear, his legs almost cramping. This person had killed several Foundation establishment cultivators. If he wanted to kill him, what could he use to defend himself? He had to apologize. He had to seek forgiveness. And with this Foundation establishment cultivator leading, the scattered cultivators who had previously disrespected Gu Zhu were all generous with their contributions, eagerly offering resources, praying for the forgiveness of this white-haired rogue cultivator. This scene left Surumei stunned. She had also prepared gifts, ready to present to Feng Bugui, to establish a connection with this rogue cultivator. But with this sudden turn of events, could she still offer her prepared gift? It seemed that, to establish a connection with Feng Bugui this time, she would have to offer something substantial. While Surumei was contemplating what she should give to surpass the others and successfully establish a connection with Gu Zhu, on the other side, in a cave in the Tianqi Mountains, the figure of Nian Chao had already appeared. This place was the cave where Gu Zhu and Yi Hongling had once hidden, and also the place where Gu Zhu had killed enemies under the moonlight.